The beauty that you witness, that you observe, that you see within other people, within the world around you, within nature, when you go out for a walk, when you go to in the woods, when you go to the beach, is a reflection, is a mirror of the beauty that exists within inside of you, the innate beauty that is intrinsic with your existence and your soul. And isn't about physical beauty. Okay, obviously we all have what makes us uniquely physically beauty, and sometimes that's something that we can see automatically off the bat with other people who are conventionally attractive and fit into the mold of what we think is beautiful. And in a world of comparison and competition and only prioritizing physical beauty, it is easy for us to feel like we are not good enough, that we are not beautiful enough, and that what we perceive as lack within our own beauty makes us unworthy, undeserving of love. And especially if you are a woman in this culture, we are told what is beautiful and that we have to get all of these procedures to fix our physical appearance, for us to fit more into the beauty standard. And we constantly are chasing the standard of beauty to fit into the status quo, and also for safety, because a lot of the time fitting into that standard and that status quo, while it doesn't guarantee us safety, and we think that if we do that there's this certainty of being safe, but nothing is really certain, nothing is really promised, obviously. But in a world that prioritizes only physical beauty, it is so important that we recognize and honor the beauty within us that is beyond physical beauty, right? And you know, they always say beauty is beyond the eye of the beholder. I don't even know the fucking quote, I don't know. Or they always say beauty is skin deep, and you know, some of us might cast this off as corny or cliche, but it's true. You know, only considering physical beauty and comparing yourself based on your beauty versus others, while there's nothing inherently wrong about that, and I think it makes us human. I think it makes us human because it's just a product of the conditioning that we have been exposed to as a means to, and it's how we adapt as human beings. It's what we know, it's what we're used to, it's what we see within the world. We are constantly given these standards of beauty. We constantly see other people, you know, models, and we are always seeing other people, and whether we know it or not, whether we want to admit it to ourselves or not, whether we're conscious of it or not, we sometimes internalize these messages, these shame messages, and feel like if I don't look like that, if I don't look like this model, if I don't look like this girl in this ad, or if I don't follow the skincare routine, then there's something wrong with me. Then I'm going to be casted as other. I'm going to be viewed at, and people are going to be looking at me from the outside in a bad way. And we internalize these messages, and it makes societies of people who are very shallow and very surface level, and we think that physical beauty is the only thing. And while physical beauty is power in this world, I think physical beauty is a very powerful thing to have. You know, bitch, I'm beautiful, obviously you can already see that. But I know for me, I've personally struggled with feeling beautiful, finding myself beautiful. I still struggle with feeling beautiful and feeling comfortable and safe within my own body. And especially being a Black woman in this world, in this culture, we're constantly fed these messages in society, and we are also treated this way from people who also have been conditioned with these limitations of how Black women are supposed to be or who they are. And it's just like this very monolithic, limited perspective on who you're supposed to be based on how you present in this world and the identity, the role that is placed upon you since birth. But there's constantly these messages that we're ghetto, that we're not beautiful, that we're not pretty, that we're undesirable. And even from our own personal experiences, especially if you grew up in predominantly white spaces, you probably weren't chosen or picked as your peers, your white peers, or your other female peers. You were overlooked, you weren't desired as much as everybody else, and this can really have you believe and feel like there's something wrong with you, that you're not pretty, and it can really just create this identity and this self-concept insecurity and inferiority, right? And that's by design. I mean, we obviously live in a culture that purposely conditions certain groups of people, black, white, women, men, doesn't really fucking matter. It's not limited. You know, there's the intersectionality of everything that teaches certain groups of people these beliefs, right? And that's by design. It's to keep people disconnected from their power. It's to keep people disconnected from their truth. And the thing about these truths or these beliefs is that they're false, they're illusion based. And that's not to take away the real lived experiences that create these beliefs in the first place. Especially if, you know, you experience that in your home life, you don't really have a supportive home life to speak love and life into you, and that's just also another source of stress and another battlefield to survive, right? But a part of my self-love journey and a part of my spiritual awakening is learning to love myself on a deeper level and realizing the interconnectedness of everything. Because when I say that, the beauty that you see within other people and the beauty that you see and witness in other people is just a reminder of how interconnected we are to everything. The beauty that we see in other people, whether that's physical beauty, whether there's certain parts of people that we just absolutely love, like their passion and their lust for life. And there are just things that we love about people, not because they're beautiful on the outside, but because they're beautiful on the inside, because they have a passion about them, because there's something that lights them up. And you, especially when you love somebody and you see somebody living their best life and doing what they love, it lights them up. And I think that's just a reflection and an invitation of going within the universe inside of us to discover what lights us up, you know? And if anything, like I said, in a world of competition and comparison, this really takes away from our ability to go within and to be able to cultivate that within ourselves or tap into that within ourselves. We think because somebody's more beautiful than us, or we think because other people are having these lives, we're in this limited mindset because, you know, they're beautiful so they're able to do this, or because they have this freedom they're able to do this. But if anything, seeing other people feel confident in themselves regardless of how they look, seeing other people follow their dreams and choose their truth, is just an invitation on where we hold our own limitation on being able to cultivate that confidence or that freedom within ourselves. It's not that they're able to do something and you're not. It's just why do you think that you're not able to in other people? Why are you letting this perceived idea and this illusion of lack dictate your life on how free you allow yourself to be and how free you allow yourself to express yourself? And going back to my own insecurities, you know, around just not feeling desirable, not feeling beautiful. And, you know, growing up, I grew up emo, basically. Like, I grew up emo. I wore my hair straight. I always dyed my hair. And the thing about it is I never really fit in. I never fit in as much as I tried to code switch into having closer proximity to whiteness, because I associated whiteness and white women with being more desirable, and especially being surrounded by people who just kind of reaffirm that belief, being surrounded by people who are also influenced and conditioned by a culture that also teaches them that black women are not desirable, and to, you know, if black women are ghetto, then they're undesirable, but if black women fit into who I think they should be, then maybe I'll give them a chance, right? And, you know, growing up as this emo girl who also really did not have a strong sense of self-worth and confidence, just due to the things that I've been through, the trauma that I've experienced in my life, and all of these things, it really takes a toll on you, and it really has you become a shell of yourself because you are so accommodating to other people on what they want you to be or who you think they want you to be, and you lose yourself in that process. And because you are so focused on chasing external approval and validation and needing some sort of validation, whether that's about male validation or just validation from literally anybody you can possibly get validation from, it really just disconnects you from yourself. And that disconnection from yourself honestly doesn't even really start there. I mean, depending on who you are, depending on your story. For me, that disconnection from myself happened way before I started being emo or whatever. Like, I grew up in a family, my mom straightened my hair literally since I was in elementary school, right? Like, she didn't really know how to work with black hair, right? And but me coming into myself and me honoring and celebrating my own beauty and becoming my own beauty standard comes with me wearing my hair naturally. Like, obviously my hair is not natural now, but I mean, if you see pictures of me online or content that I post, my hair is natural. And I honestly I haven't straightened my hair in a long fucking time. And let me tell you, straightening your hair is so time consuming, babe. Like, when I was in school and I would straighten my hair, I literally have my hair straight, I wash it on the weekend, and then I do it, and it literally takes 2 hours. Like, there's so much of my life that I dedicated to straightening my hair and just trying so hard to be who I wasn't. And that's just also a part of the conditioning that you get and you receive being in a family that also is so disconnected from who they are and doesn't know how to embrace and celebrate their own beauty. And, you know, it's not my job to tell my mom's story, but my mom has shared with me her own experiences with just, you know, being a black woman in areas where there's not other black people, where there's like mostly white people or mostly Latino people. And, you know, people who just, when you work around people who have also been conditioned, they don't know how to celebrate you and appreciate black beauty. And we feel like we need other people to celebrate our beauty in order to be the permission that we want to celebrate our own beauty. However, you can cut out the middleman and celebrate your beauty. And I think also seeing how interconnected we are to everything, seeing the beauty that exists within other people and everything around us, like nature, like the flowers, like the bees, like springtime, like wintertime, just being able to see the beauty in the little things and the little details just shows how vast and how deep your soul is and how truly beautiful your soul is. And you don't need to be the most beautiful person to be able to come to terms with that. You really don't. And I feel like when we actually understand how deep and how interconnected we are to everything, that gives you a different glow and that expands your aura, you know, because you're connected to something greater than yourself. You're connected to the reality, the truth of everything, that you are a human being in this world. You are having a human experience, and being a human is just an extension of the creator. And I when I think about this too, I always like to think about how evolution has happened and how, like, the Big Bang or whatever, and how Mother Earth has evolved and how the creation of this planet took billions and billions of years, and everything, all the nature, all the animals and everything that has evolved and everything that's survived from being the survival of the fittest, right? We are an extension of billions of years of evolution. We are so interconnected to everything, and we live in a culture that extracts the soul. We live in a soulless society, and we forget that we are actually animals at the end of the day. Like, yes, we are souls having a human experience, but we are also humans having a human experience. Like, our souls incarnated here in this world to have a human experience, to experience human emotion. And there's also beauty in human emotion, and we reject our humanness so much because there's a lot of pain with being a human being. And, you know, seeing the beauty within our pain isn't about like forced positivity. It's just being able to see that our pain is just an extension of being a human being. And our pain, when we allow ourselves to feel the depths of our pain, we also allow ourselves to receive, to feel the depths of love and the depths of beauty. And when we focus on the details of the world, like how just the details of trees and the bark and the texture of it, and it's just, and the thing is, like, a lot of the healing work that I've done has made this world so much more vivid, because the healing work that I have done, that we do, especially when it comes to de-shaming and processing shame through the body, shame is such, toxic shame is just one of those things that just makes you not want to fucking live anymore. It makes everything every day so fucking dull. and you just don't even want to live in your own body. You can't even stand to hear the sound of your own voice, to the sight of your reflection, and it just brings down the contrast and the color of this world so much. But as I choose my freedom from within, and I liberate myself from within, and I free myself from the shame that has kept me shackled to hating myself for so fucking long, the world has just become brighter, and I feel so much better about myself. And I've always prayed to love myself and to just feel better. I've always wanted that, and my prayers are being answered every fucking day, you know? Like, I have struggled so much with loving myself and feeling comfortable and content within my own existence and my own light. And I didn't even know that I had light, you know? Like, I just thought that who I was, like, I felt like just being me was just pain. And there's a lot of pain with being a human being. There's a lot of pain that I have experienced in my life, and pain is not really something that we can ever escape, because the depths that we feel pain, like, it's like loss, right? Like, when we are afraid of losing people that we love, like a parent, and we try to prepare for that moment, we try to think our way into minimizing how much we're going to feel that pain. It's like there's no way to escape that pain. The only way to not feel the pain of losing somebody is to not love them in the first place. And that's the cost of love, is grief and is pain. But the thing about that is that, in a way, that it can be an invitation to just celebrate life. It's an invitation to celebrate having the ability to experience human emotion and being able to share that with other people, because you're not alone in that. You know what I mean? And I feel like this is a little bit all over the place, and even from a young age, I have always seen people, and I have always felt like this in my heart when I see people, especially like people who might like have a limp or have a lazy eye, like, I don't know, like just quirks about them, right? Like, I've always seen those people with so much love, because I feel like, I don't know, like maybe I've picked up on their lack of love for themselves, or maybe their own pain. And it's just like, there's so much beauty in this world, and there's so much beauty in our quirks and other people's quirks, and just seeing people and feeling that unconditional love for people is such a fucking gift. And sometimes it's hard. Especially if it's people that don't have the similar opinions as you, or if you've experienced so much pain in your life where it just kind of, you close your heart off, and you instead of choosing love and healing, you kind of just choose resentment and bitterness. And there's nothing wrong with that. But I don't want to get too far away from what I'm trying to talk about. But just when we feel love, when we feel happiness, when we feel joy, when we see the beauty within nature, when we look up at the sky at night and we see that sunset, that orange, pink, cotton candy skies, the fact that we have the ability to see the beauty, and to the fact that experiencing or seeing and witnessing something like that invokes an emotion within you, is literally evidence that the beauty that is being reflected back to you, invoking an emotion within you, is just evidence that that is how deep you are. Like, I don't even know how to like put this. Like, I hope you guys are able to like pick up what I'm putting down right now. Like, I'm really trying to like find the words to be able to like encapture what it is that I'm fully trying to express. But like, it is like the fact that we have the ability to feel such powerful, strong emotion when we are in the presence of somebody that we love, or somebody that inspires us, that when we are just outside in nature and we feel that moment of just safety and contentment, where there's nothing really stopping us from being happy. Like, our thoughts are not convincing us of anything that's going wrong, and we just have those moments of peace, and we feel just the beauty in the fucking air. You know what I mean? Like, that is you experiencing yourself. That is your soul, your heart, literally doing exactly what it's meant to do. It's really grounding, and it's really healing to feel connected, interconnected with everything, and to know that you don't have to compete, you don't have to compare, that whatever you are perceiving within other people, their ambition, their drive, them living their best life, them living a life that fulfills them, is just an invitation for you to invite yourself to do the same, for you to invite yourself to connect with that part of you that exists within you, that is trying to remind you of how beautiful you truly are, and that beauty is not only within your physical being. And sometimes it's hard to really truly feel that within yourself if you grew up feeling insecure, if you feel insecure now, if you cannot stand the sight of your own fucking reflection, if every time you look in the reflection or every time you exist, you are constantly picking yourself apart and criticizing yourself, and you grew up in a household and a family dynamic that constantly criticized you and saw the worst in you, it's hard to connect to seeing the best and the beauty within everything, or believing that it's a reflection of you if you are conditioned to see the worst within yourself. But it's really healing to know how interconnected we are to everything, and that the beauty that exists is a reflection of us, because we are an extension of the trees. We are an extension of billions of years of evolution, and how Mother Earth has came to be in this time and place. And it's so sad to live in a world where we extract Mother Earth of all her resources for our own personal benefit and gain, where we extract and exploit other people, nature, we kill animals, and we do all of this harm and destruction because so many people are so disconnected to the interconnectedness of everything that is them and everything around them. They're disconnected to seeing that the beauty that exists outside of us is also a reflection, and the beauty that we feel within is also everywhere around you. And you don't have to wait till you get a cosmetic procedure, or you get clear skin, and you have this 50 fucking step skincare routine. Like, you don't have to wait for things to happen externally. You don't have to wait for somebody to validate that you're beautiful and that you're desired. And obviously, being desired and people perceiving you as beautiful is great. There's nothing wrong with wanting that. That makes you human. That makes you a fucking human. And you don't have to reject that humanness. You don't have to reject that human aspect of simply just wanting to be loved, simply wanting to feel enough in your own existence. But I feel like it's so empowering when we come to terms with the fact that we don't have to wait for other people to validate that and to show us that we can take initiative and take responsibility for our own well-being and make that decision right here, right now. You don't have to make that decision or only embody feeling chosen when somebody chooses you. You can choose to feel chosen now because you choose to choose yourself. And I think knowing that you can choose yourself, that you can love yourself, that you can validate yourself is something that we often don't know, that we don't realize just in our lives, because in society, we're not really taught that, you know? I mean, yeah, we're taught to choose ourselves and to love ourselves, but our society doesn't really teach us how to do that. We think that if we just love ourselves, we tell ourselves that we love us, that's going to be enough. And that's definitely a start, but love is something that we feel within our bodies. And if you exist in a body and hold the frequency of shame and of guilt and of self-hatred, it's hard to fully digest and accept that identity and that self-concept, and that mind work is just simply not enough. It's not that it's not going to, if anything, that's just going to help you move along in the direction that you want to, with that intention, with that awareness, and with that willingness. But, you know, everything is beautiful if you choose to see it that way. There is so much beauty in this world. There is so much beauty that exists within you and me. There is so much whimsy. And like I said, back to shame really extracts you of your whimsiness. Okay, like, it doesn't make you devoid of it. It's not that you can't feel that, but shame is like the rot that eats away at the foundation of a house. It's like the termites that eat away at the foundation of a house that eventually will cause it to collapse. And shame will definitely have you collapse within yourself time and time again. It'll constantly have you question why you're here, if your existence even matters. And that's a really heavy thing to cope with, to carry every fucking day of your life. Trust me, I know that. But within embracing my natural hair and embracing just the fact that like I am black, you know what I mean? Like I am a black woman. This is the body that I live in, and no matter how much I try, I'm not going to be white. I'm not going to be a white woman. And you know, I don't have to continue to chase people who desire only white women. I don't have to chase people or approval of people who are so limited within their own mind that they can't step outside of the boundary of their conditioning and societal stories and expectations that society places on certain groups of people. Like, that's just not my fucking job to do, but it is my job to set myself free of those own limitations of what beauty is and what that looks like, and upholding this beauty standard of European beauty in my own mind. And also, this also has to do with Christianity and black people being forced to worship a white God, but that's a whole different conversation. If you're ready for that, I don't know if y'all are ready for that, but I'm spitting right now. But I think just also pedestalizing yourself and being your own beauty standard is one way that you can start to see the beauty within yourself, and also doing things that work with you, right? Like with straightening my hair for so much of my life, I didn't know how to fucking do my hair when I stopped straightening my hair, but you know, I learn. You learn, you know, you learn how to work with what you have. And when you stop trying to be something else, or you stop trying to force yourself to fit into what you think you should be, and you start to work with what you have, and you stop working against your body, that's when you allow yourself to come into your own being, and you allow yourself to be your own person, independent of external standards and expectations. And when you stop resenting yourself for not fitting in the mold of what other people find desirable, you also start to see and feel the beauty within you. And it's easier for you to bridge that gap between hating your life and celebrating your life, hating yourself and celebrating yourself, because you are not running from who you are. You're not running from your ancestry. You're not running from your history. You're not running from what is natural to who you are. You are not running from the body and the life that you were born into. And I say this, especially I want my POC, my black women, to hear this, because I know I've been there. And I'm still working through not feeling comfortable, confident, and desirable in my own body. There's a lot of things that I have carried from my childhood, especially going to school, going to predominantly white spaces, being friends with people who didn't really celebrate me, and just also not celebrating myself. Like, I'm not even trying to blame them. It's just like, also in that time of my life, that's what I felt like I deserved. That's what I thought was true for me. There was, if I'm honest with myself, there's a degree of which I believed and that I agreed to that rejection of my own beauty, or the lack of acknowledgement with my own beauty. And like I said, I grew up emo, babe, and I had acne, and I just really did not feel comfortable and confident. I felt really insecure. There were times in my life, especially in elementary school and even middle school, where I was picked on, where people made comments about my skin, about my acne, and I still am carrying that pain of that rejection, that pain of realizing that who I am as I am is undesirable to people, and people will have visceral, disgusted reactions towards me and treat me differently and treat me as other, and they don't like me as much as other people, right? And these are things that we have to work through. You know, you can't just convince yourself that, oh, like, this is stuff that our body carries. These are stories, and this is pain that our bodies carry. This is belief systems that our bodies have been calibrated to expect, and the ways that our identities and our nervous systems calibrate to these stories and these experiences shape how we relate to ourselves, our perception of ourselves, and how we perceive other people are going to perceive us. And so it shapes a lot, but I think a really good start is just coming to terms, allowing yourself to accept that the beauty that you see within other people is 100% is a reflection of the beauty that exists within you. And the beauty within nature is just a mirror of your soul, because our soul, who we are, is an extension of nature. We are nature. We are an extension of the the billions of years of evolution, we are an extension of the ancient wisdom, the universal wisdom that exists within inside of us. And like I said, living in a culture that really only prioritizes superficial things and physical beauty, it takes away from our ability to look within and to explore the universe that exists within inside of us, to explore the vast ocean that exists within inside of us. And the thing about the ocean is that the ocean goes so deep, and humans haven't even explored like 50%. Like, the amount of which humans have discovered the ocean is so small. And the same with us. There is so much about us. There is so much, not even like within our subconscious, within our soul, that we have yet to explore and discover. And the more that we free ourselves from our own limitations and our own outdated programs and conditionings, we allow the truth of who we are, the truth of who we've always been, to pierce through the noise of who we think we need to be in order to be lovable and to be accepted. And part of me, as I've been on my own journey, is that there are so many truths, so many interests that have peeked its head in my consciousness that I didn't even fucking know I was interested in. Like, that's the funny thing about this journey, is that there's so much about you that you don't even know about yourself, but that comes online, that you realize, that you start to listen to, that you start to hear when you start to dive deep within your being, when you start to actually accept yourself on a deep primal level in a way that you have never before, in a way that is so outside of what you are used to. And it's just so fucking beautiful. Like, you really don't have to be the most beautiful person. You don't have to be the whitest. You don't have to do any of that. As long as you learn to, if you're willing and you learn and you allow yourself to love yourself and to meet yourself where you're at, and to know that you are more than just what you look like. And, you know, some people challenge that, and they're like, well, beauty is important in this world. Beauty, like, yeah, beauty is important in this world, but are you going to continue to prioritize beauty because society tells you to, or because you're going to take responsibility for your own well-being and choose to be the change that you want to see? Yes, beauty is important, but making the excuse that I care about beauty because society tells me to care about beauty is you giving your power away. It's you simply only doing that because that's what society is telling you to do. And for me, I desire to be the change that I want to see. Yes, beauty is important. Yes, taking care of my skin, taking care of my vitality, taking care of my human vessel, my human meat suit is absolutely important. And the solution is to not neglect your body, to neglect, you know, or to tell yourself that beauty doesn't matter, or to stop feeling like you need to feel beautiful. Like, that's not what I'm saying. But if you desire to see change in this world, if you desire to live in a world or live in a society or in a culture that doesn't only focus and prioritize physical beauty, and actually we live in a soul-led society where we see beyond the physical, and we actually see people for their souls and their energy, and we see ourselves in that way, then you have to actually be willing to do that within. You have to take responsibility for that, and not just say, well, just because society tells me that beauty is important, that I need to live my life in that type of way. But yeah, I think I'm gonna wrap up the video here. Do I give Pennywise? Is this like Pennywise vibes? Oh my god, wait, why does this kind of make me want to watch it? I'm not watching that movie. I've watched that movie so many fucking times. Anyway, but the remake with Finn Wolfhard, like, I haven't seen the original one, and I honestly don't plan to. Anyways, that's irrelevant. But I hope this video finds who it's meant to, and this video speaks to you in the way that it's meant to, and I hope that you're able to receive this and put your pride and your ego to the side and receive this message in the way that I hope it does. But just, you know, put on a sticky note, you know, if you need a reminder, or if you ever feel like you're gonna forget this message. I mean, of course, come back to the video. Don't forget to like and subscribe and comment. But like I was saying, on a sticky note, put that the beauty that you see within other people, the beauty that you see within this world, is a reflection of the beauty that exists within inside of you. Because it's really easy when we see beauty within other people, that we feel like their beauty takes away from our beauty, and we feel like we're less than if there's somebody more beautiful than us. And there's always going to be somebody more beautiful. There's always going to be somebody who's smarter than you. But, you know, that's okay. But just connect back to your truth and validate that you're still beautiful, that you're still smart in your own way, in your own capacity. Everybody is different. Everybody's on their own journey. Not everybody's meant to be the same. And I think that is such a good reminder to remind yourself of when that part of you feels like you need to prove yourself to be enough to compensate for whatever you believe that you lack, or whatever you feel like you're deficient of, to make up for that. You fear other people are going to view your lack of beauty, your lack of smarts, and hold that against you, and you are afraid of feeling that shame for not being enough. You believe that you're not enough, and people are going to see that you're also not enough. They're going to see what you see in yourself. And this all has to do with self-concept work. This all has to do with identity and shame. And if you ever are looking for help or guidance and are just willing to take that step in healing your relationship with yourself, I do one-on-one coaching sessions around somatic and trauma-informed practices to help you connect to your body, to work with your nervous system, to heal your relationship with yourself, to connect to your inner child, and to uproot any limiting, outdated stories and beliefs, so you can start to see yourself clearly, so you can start to embody the truth of who you are and allow yourself to be free in your self-expression, especially because of the times that we're in. As the empires crumble, it is so important that we also allow the ways that we have internalized these empires within our identity and our nervous system and our belief system go with, we let that, the ways that we have internalized that, crumble along with the physical empires. And that is how we co-create a world reimagined in matriarchal, community, love-based, respecting and honoring, celebrating life and Mother Earth based societies and communities. And I will leave the link in the below if you are interested in learning more about what I do and my work and booking a one-on-one session with me. But like I said, I'm going to end the video here. I know I said I was going to end the video like 6 minutes ago, but you know, I'm gonna let myself speak, because there's really no rush to end the video, but I don't want this video to be too long. But yeah, follow me, subscribe to my YouTube channel, follow my other social medias. I'm Vivacious Embrace on all platforms, other than YouTube, TikTok, Instagram. Follow me, you know, you already know the fucking vibes, because on this side of the internet, all power to the people, bitch. Collective liberation and freedom for all people is at the core of my movement. And so if that is something that you also value, feel free to join my community. You are always welcome. Because at the end of the day, this is about empowering yourself. This is about remembering who you are outside of survival, outside of the conditionings and the stories of capitalism, white supremacy, colonialism, and the patriarchy, and all of these things that are constantly conditioning us to find fault within ourselves and to chase this never-ending standard, to constantly move the goalposts of when we'll be able to love and accept ourselves. But yeah, I love you guys, and I hope that you remember that you are beautiful, that you are wonderful, and you deserve to know that and accept that and embody that for yourself. I'll see you guys next video. Bye.